Hello everyone and welcome to another Chinese tech review. Today we're reviewing not a phone but a tablet. Well, technically you could call it a phone too because it has calling capabilities and such, but it's pretty large to be called a phone. It's pretty large to be called a phablet even, so let's just keep it on tablet. The device we're looking at today comes from Teclast. It's the Teclast X98 Air 3G, or the name that Teclast would like you to call it, the Teclast T-Pad. Well, while the previous name is pretty much a mouthful, I can see some patent-related problems with this name. So I think it's best for all of us if we just ignore this name, which wasn't advertised anywhere except for on the box, and we'll just keep calling it the X98, which seems much safer. Let's just start this off by taking a quick look at the box. Right here on the side we have some specifications, which are in Chinese for the most part. We have some numbers in between here, some abbreviations here, but I think it's pretty much illegible for anyone who isn't Chinese. Maybe the back of the box will yield some more useful information. Well, here we can see a more expanded spec sheet, but it's in Chinese as well. Well, maybe this side of the box has some useful information, but no. As you can see, it's in Chinese as well. Now, there's a reason I'm showing you all of this. It's Teclast hasn't done any effort whatsoever to localize this product, to internationalize, rather, this product. Everything about this product when it comes out of the box is in Chinese. The product itself, the interface, the booklets, everything. There is no English information whatsoever. So, yeah, you'll have to use those Googling skills you learned to get some things done, like changing the language in the Windows side, which was pretty much a pain. I will talk about that more later. So for right now, without further ado, let's lift this lid and see what's inside the box. There we have it. The tablet shows itself, but we'll be looking at this for a long time later, so let's just put this to the side for now and see what else is in the box. Going to remove this piece of cardboard right here, and there we have it, a bunch of booklets and cables. Right here we have the data/charging cable, put that over here, an OTG cable, useful, a charger. And I think this has some kind of quick charging thing going on, because while the tablet has a pretty large battery, it charges pretty quickly. It just takes a few hours, I think 2 to 3 hours, but of course I can't tell, because who knows, maybe this word over here means quick charging, but I don't know because I can't read Chinese. So yeah, even less information here. I don't know, it charges pretty well. Let's just keep it at that. Right here we got some booklets with information. Right here we have the little Android logo, and inside, well, what do you know, it's all Chinese. There is no English part to this booklet at all. It's all in Chinese. So yeah, this is pretty much useless for me anyway. Right here we have one more booklet with the Windows logo, so I presume this is about the Windows side of the logo of the tablet. I'm holding it upside down, but it doesn't matter because it's Chinese as well. So yeah, I think we can get rid of this too, because I can't read it. Right here we have what seems to be a warranty slip, completely in Chinese. So yeah, I guess I won't be returning this product to the manufacturer. The box seems to be empty apart from this little sticker-like thing. I don't know what this is. It's in Chinese. So yeah, that were the contents of the box. Pretty useful. And now let's just get our tablet here again. Here we have it. The T-Pad, or the X98 as we're going to call it. Let's just go over the specs pretty quickly. If you didn't get the Chinese specs I showed you a minute ago. We're working with a 9.7 inch screen. I'll just put the specs over here so you can proofread them. 9.7 inch screen with a pretty high resolution. It's a 2048 by some number. I can't remember it right now. It's pretty random, but I'll just put it over there so you can read it. It's got a 5 megapixel camera at the back right here, and a 2 megapixel camera in the front right here. we're working with an Intel chipset, the Z3736F, which is a mid-range chipset. It's got 1.7 gigahertz. It's a quad core and it's 64-bit, which is nice. We've only got 2 gigabytes of RAM, which is granted a little bit disappointing. And that comes with 32 gigabytes of storage, eMMC storage, which is pretty fast. You can expand that with a memory card. I think it goes up to 64 gigabytes. You'll probably need that because there's 2 operating systems installed, which already takes some of the storage. It doesn't leave much for you. I think it's something around 12, 14 gigabytes that's left for usage. So you'll probably need to expand that with a memory card of sorts. And yeah, of course, it has 3G capabilities as well. You can put a SIM card in here. At the Android side, you can even make calls, get text messages, and in both of the operating systems, you can go on the internet with your data plan. Now, I say both operating systems. I just realized that I hadn't said that already. This device has dual boot, native dual boot that is. So it has both a Windows installation and an Android installation on the tablet. You can, every time you restart it, you can hold a certain button combination and you get a dual boot screen in which you can choose between the two. It works pretty well. I will show it later when we're talking about that. But right now, I think it's best that we go on with the design. So yeah, let's just talk about the design a bit. First thing you can see is that the tablet is pretty thin. It's got 7.1 millimeters of thickness, which makes this one of the thinner tablets I've had the pleasure to hold. And it shows. I mean, it's a really sturdy tablet. You can really feel that all the components are really packed together in those 7 millimeters. Yeah, for the rest, it's not a very flashy tablet. Like right here at the front, we can see we have the 9.7 inch screen. We've got the front-facing camera, and that's pretty much it. There's not much else to be seen on the front of the device. It's pretty clean. So let's just go to the back, on which we have some words written. Intel inside, that has to be there. Air 3G and the T-pad name once again. Some more words, and oddly, one of the only English sentences in the entire product, the packaging and everything, are the words "made in China," and all rights reserved, of course. So yeah, that is something that makes you think. Let's just on the side, it's got some buttons, some ports. We'll just go over them one by one. Right here, we have the power button. We've got the volume rocker right here. A port for a memory card, a port for your SIM card, which enables 3G. We've got a microphone right over here, a small one. We've got micro USB over here for data and for charging. A headphone jack right over here, 3.5 millimeter, and a mini HDMI port. So if you want to plug your tablet into your TV or your computer screen to watch some movies on a big screen or do some gaming, that works. Over here we've got nothing. Right here there's one of the weirder design choices Teclast made, because one of the main advertising points is that it has stereo sound. But right here you see that they placed the speakers next to each other, which kind of destroys the purpose of having stereo sound. I don't know why that is. I don't know why they made this decision. I don't know who said, well, we have 2 speakers, let's just put them right next to each other so you can only hear one sound. Yeah, that's pretty weird. I can't explain this, but it's there. Right here we've got some kind of white thing. I don't know why it's white instead of just the same fake metallic shell that the rest of the tablet has, but I don't know, it's probably a design choice. And right here we have the camera. So as you can see, it's a pretty pretty standard tablet, not much in the way of dazzling design choices. It's pretty sleek, pretty clean. It's an okay design. So for the rest, we'll go on with some of the functionalities, and as I've already said, this tablet has dual boot, so it'll be pretty hard to just restart the tablet every time. So I'll just record everything in one go, and I'll just jump back and forth between the two operating systems as I talk about the different functionalities of this device. So first up is the user interface. Now, before I'm going into the specific UIs of the different operating systems, I'm first going to show how to get into the dual boot screen, because dozens of times I've seen it mentioned on review threads, on threads about the device, on store pages. I've heard people say, "What's happening? My dual boot isn't working, it isn't coming up, it's booting straight to Android." Well, that happens because there's a specific button combination to get into the dual boot screen. But the problem is that all of the documentation that comes with the device is in Chinese, so anyone who doesn't speak Chinese can't know how to get into the dual boot screen, which is pretty much an oversight from Teclast. I'm just going to show how to get into that, so when you're buying the device, you already know how to make the most of it, instead of having to Google for 4 hours and then having to go to a Chinese forum and using Google Translate to see what you have to do. You can just know it right now. So the thing we'll have to do to get into the dual boot screen is hold the volume up button and the power button at the same time until the logo comes up. So let's just do that right now. And there we go. It's the Teclast logo, and we're at the dual boot screen. So here we got the Windows logo and we've got the Android logo. We're going to start off with the Android system. So let's just click that, it becomes green, and let's just press the Chinese equivalent of OK. There is booting up. It should be booting up. There we go, some small text. And a logo. One more logo. In the meantime, the store I bought it from, it's an AliExpress store, which is the official distributor of Teclast products. I also got this very nice leather cover for the tablet. So what I am going to do to hopefully make the reviewing a little bit easier is put the tablet into the cover, so I can maybe put it on its side or something. Just bear with me for a moment here. There we go. That works. Let's just turn this on again. Up, there we go. The screen comes on. Let's just turn it around. So there we go. This is a little easier. First things first. It's Android 4.4, which is installed. I don't know if there are updates coming. There might be. There's an auto updater app on the tablet. So yeah, let's go past the unlock screen first, where we see one of the first things that catches our attention. It says speak the password. If I let this time run out, it shows a pattern. But the speak the password thing is pretty nice, because it allows you to enter a vocal password with which you can get into your tablet. It even adjusts to your voice and stuff, so only you can get into it when you say a password. Let's just demonstrate it for a bit. I'm going to use the password. Hey, yo, Teclast. And there we go, we're into the screen. You see, I didn't touch it, my hands were behind my back. So yeah, that's a pretty nice feature. So yeah, we're into the operating system, and you can see that it's pretty much a standard Android 4.4 interface. There's no custom ROM to speak of, it's just 4.4 as is. One of the first things I have to say about the Android side of the tablet, and that was pretty much a big disappointment, is that it's littered with bloatware. Right now I've deleted most of it, but yeah, there's a lot of it. Some of it you can delete, most of it you can disable in the app settings, but you'll most probably need root to fully delete some of the some of the apps that you don't want. I'm specifically looking at booklet thing because I can't even disable that app right there. Yeah, it's pretty fluid. It's 2 GB of RAM is more than enough for an Android system. But we'll just look at some of the standard apps. We've got the gallery app right here, but we all know that one, so I won't linger too long here. There are some standard photos that come with the device. See, it's pretty fluid, the scrolling. Yeah, there's some nice photos. So yeah, you can see that works. Go back to the home screen. Let's just go check out the settings for a minute. Pretty standard settings. Here you have the HDMI is for when you plug in an external device. Intel Smart Video, I don't know what this does. It improves video quality by reducing noise and eliminating artifacts with interlaced content. I haven't noticed a thing turning it off and on, but I'll just put it on by default, and I hope the placebo effect kicks in and makes me see wonderful things on the screen. Let's just check out About Tablet. Whoa, those are developer options, we don't need those. About Tablet, we can see the model number right here, X98 Air 3G, Android 4.4.4. Let's just do the thing, and there we go. Just hold it in, yeah, there we go, Android 4.4.4. Can we get to the tiled screen? I don't know how to. Come on. There we go. Ah, look at that. That's always fun. So yeah, we don't really need this. Let's go back to the home screen. Come on. Yeah. As you can see, there's a phone app right here, messaging app right there. So yeah, the UI is pretty much normal there. I've already talked about the bloat, but you can get rid of that when you root. Rooting should be pretty easy on this device. I've seen some tutorials and they don't seem too hard. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a standard 4.4 interface. Not much else to say about it. Let's go look at the Windows side. So here we are at the Windows side of the device. You can already see the pretty recognizable lock screen that Windows 8 has. And we'll talk about the UI a bit. Now, one of the first things that you might say to me is, well, Kalani64, didn't I always hear that Windows 8 is a bad operating system? And I would say, well, yes, you might have heard that. But if you Google top 5 reasons why Windows 8 sucks or something in that kind of genre, you'll see that one of the main reasons people always say that Windows 8 sucks is that it looks like it was made for tablets. And well, you might already hear me coming, this is a tablet. So the Windows 8 user interface works really well on here. I agree that Windows 8 on desktops is probably less of a viable option, it's not that great. But on tablets it works really well, the gestures are pretty useful. You'll see right here in the review. So let's just lift this thing up, and then we see one of the first nice things about the Windows tablet right here. Well, right over here you see a Chinese sentence. The tablet has been converted to English, but some of the parts stay in Chinese. There's nothing to do about that. It's no, it's not very nice. But one of the first nice parts about Windows 8 is that it has a feature called Picture Unlock. You can unlock your Windows tablet by performing some action on a picture of your choosing. Right here I picked a picture of some ruins in Turkey, and what I have to do, I hope this works from the first time, I have to draw a line over here, and then I have to take a circle around this rock, and some more Chinese right there. It's unlocked, we're in. I think that was a really nice feature worked into the Windows 8 side of the tablet. It doesn't work that well on the desktop, obviously, but it works nicely on a tablet. So here you can see it's very recognizable, the Windows 8 user interface. Right here we have the start screen, which is the main screen that you get when you start up Windows 8. Obviously, most of the time when you're on your desktop, you're going to click this right away and you're inside your desktop. I installed some programs already. But I've found that on my tablet, I'm mostly inside this menu because it's easier to navigate on a touchscreen. Right here we have all installed apps. Oh, I created a gesture right there. So yeah, also one of the special things about this installation is that it's Windows 8.1 with Bing. Now you might ask me, what does the with Bing part mean? It doesn't mean that it comes with a bad search engine. It means that it's a free version of the operating system with one, how do you call that? They ask one thing of the manufacturer is that they don't put any software of their own on the installation. So that is a very nice part of this operating system. While the Android side was littered with bloatware, the Windows side has none. It's just a standard out-of-the-box Windows installation with nothing else installed. I really like that fact. It was clean as it was just a clean slate when I got it. Wasn't Chinese though. It's fluid enough, but 2 GB of RAM is a little on the low side for a Windows tablet. We'll see that in the performance part I'm going to show you. We've got some basic applications right here. For instance, I can show you the Internet Explorer app. I have found that on this tablet I've been using Internet Explorer more than anything else really. It's a nice browser. Oh, right here, your browser is not supported. Well, that's just for this application. But we can show some stuff like open a new tab, go to, what can I say, Google or something. I don't know. Internet Explorer is one of the only internet browsers that works really fluidly on this tablet. I'll show you what I mean. For instance, I'll go to a Google search or something. Let's just go over there. It loads. Can I zoom in? Yes, you see the zooming is very fluid. While, for instance, we can go to here, one of the gestures. I think that's it's a multitasking gesture. You can just slide in from the side and you can get the thing that we were last working with. My favorite browser, Mozilla Firefox. Let's just start that thing up. Right here, do we go to the Google page right away? No. Can I zoom in here? You see, the zooming is a little on the slow side. It isn't very fluid. That's the case with most other browsers. While the app, the Internet Explorer app, has very fluid zooming and scrolling and whatnot. So I've found myself using this browser more than the desktop browsers. One nice feature that this has too, that the Windows 8 tablet has too, is the snapping feature. Now say you want to look something up on Firefox, but you're doing something on your desktop as well. Well, let's just get this in. And you can see a part has opened up. We can drop it here. Then we've got the Internet Explorer app over here, and we've got the desktop over here. So we can do 2 things at the same time, which is pretty nice. What else do we have? Well, apps in general work much better than installed programs I've seen. If we open up the start page, most of the apps you can see here are not programs that are run on the desktop, but are run in full screen right here as applications. They seem to work much more fluid, much more smooth than their desktop counterparts. So yeah, I recommend you to, if you're using Windows 8 on a tablet, to use apps more than you use desktop programs. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the user interface. It's pretty much standard Windows 8.1. Well, actually there have been no adjustments by Teclast itself. So if you've seen Windows 8, you've seen this. Let's just go on with the performance. So let's talk about performance a bit, shall we? Inside the Android operating system on this device, the performance is pretty good from what I've been able to tell. One of the main problems is that the resolution is really high. I've already talked about that previously. And that makes it so that some graphics heavy games run slowly. The problem is that there is no native way in Android to change the resolution. So while some heavy games like Asphalt 8 over there use a lot of graphics power already, with a heightened resolution it becomes pretty hard on a GPU. And while it's playable, it would have been much more playable if I would have been, say, able to have the resolution, which wouldn't make that much of a difference because the resolution is so high that you can easily lower it without much of a noticeable difference. Yeah, let's just check out some apps first. First off, of course, going to use good old Antutu to get a feel of the score we're getting. Initializing, and there we go. Test, it says. So let's just do that and test. Yeah, so there we go. The benchmark has concluded. Not now on Tutu. And we see that's a pretty respectable score there of 33,835. That's not the best score I've ever seen, but it's respectable. At least for also for a device of this price, that's a pretty good performance. You might have seen in the 3D demo that the frame rate was a little low. We'll see that also in the Asphalt 8 demo I'm going to give. But yet again, and I have to reiterate, that is almost solely because of the resolution. The chipset in this device, the graphics chip in this device are pretty powerful, but just the resolution is so high that the chipset has trouble following up. I really think that Teclast should not have given this device such a high resolution. It's a nice way to boast, but they should have then considered giving it a more powerful chipset or lowering the resolution a bit. But both the chipset and the resolution are they're not matched to each other, which is pretty sad because this device has a lot of potential. And, well, just the high resolution lets it down a bit. Let's just look at some live gameplay because benchmarks don't say everything. Start off with the usual Asphalt 8. I'll have to hold the tablet like this a bit because I have to steer. Yeah. Okay. Play, let's just, I don't know, I don't care, whatever. There we go. Maybe if I take back the camera a bit, it gets easier to see. There we go. You see, I'm not getting a full 30 frames per second, really. It's playable, sure, but yeah, you can see it's much slower than the power of the chipset would let on. That's because of the resolution, and there's no way in Android, as I've already said, to lower the resolution, so you're pretty much stuck with this. So yeah, once again, it is playable, surely, but it's not as high. I would have liked it. In Windows, there's an option to change the resolution. We'll see that momentarily. And that makes it so that games like this, which have pretty demanding gameplay, work a lot better. If you lower the resolution to something half this, or even just lower it by 100 on every side, frame rates get much better, games get much more playable. So yeah, I think this is enough of this. We've seen what we have to see, and yeah, that's that. Let's look at a bit of a lighter game for a moment to see that it also handles some games well. This is Impossible Road. It's controlled by pressing the sides. But you see right here we get a very respectable frame rate. It's very playable. So you can play most games on it. It's just the most demanding games like Asphalt, Real Racing, those kind of games. You'll have a hard time running those on your Teclast. So yeah, I'm dead. No biggie. So yeah, we've seen it. Respectable performance on the Android side, but if you really want a tablet for gaming, this is probably not the tablet for you, because the resolution is just too high to make hardcore gaming. And probably emulating stuff on full resolution isn't the best choice either. But if you want to play some games occasionally, it works. It's just not for really heavy-duty games. Now let's look at the Windows performance. Now we will be looking at the performance in the Windows side of the tablet. The performance, I must say, is not that good here. The Windows side of the tablet is mostly because of apps and Office applications. Those work really well, and some of the games work well too if they're not too graphically intense. Desktop apps are mostly off limits. I don't have a keyboard or stuff, so I can't test any source games. But I can show you some gaming apps. First off, we've got Halo Spartan Assault right here. Let's just open that up in full screen, not in snap mode. This is a tablet. It is a game meant for tablets. It's on PC too, but it's mostly meant for tablets, and it works well too. It doesn't have the best frame rate in the world, but it's very much playable. This is full resolution yet again. I haven't lowered the resolution yet, which is possible. And then when you lower resolutions to something like Full HD or something, games run really well. Most games I've tried run really well on low resolutions, but I'm going to show full resolution right now because I think that's more honest. We'll just play the light version. I haven't bought it yet. Select, that's okay. Yep. Initializing simulation. Place thumbs as indicated to start. Boom. There we have our Spartan. Come on. Get running. Ah, there we go. So you can see this is very much playable. This is 3D. I don't know if you can tell, but it is 3D. It has a pretty good performance right here. It's not too hard on a GPU because most models are pretty small and don't have a lot of polygons. But yeah, so for these kind of small games, you can surely come on. For most games that you'd want to play, you can surely use this tablet. But yet again, if you're going to play Crysis or you're going to play, some intensive games, then don't choose this tablet. It's a cheap tablet too, so I shouldn't be expecting to play some heavy-duty games on here. Also, the storage isn't that good, so if you want to install some large games, you will probably have to use a USB stick or an SD card or something like that, which isn't that. You'll probably have to use a USB. Yeah, I was a little distracted with the game. You'll have to use a USB stick, which isn't that fast, so you have some speed loss there too. But as you've seen, gaming is possible on this device. So yeah, when you lower your resolution, which is possible, I'll just show that quickly. We have to hold here for a minute. Then we'll have to press screen resolution. Then you can see it's possible to lower the resolution to any of these. I've found that when you lower it to something like 1792 on 1344, I can't press it correctly right now. Yeah, like that, games become much more playable, and you can get really good frame rates. So if you want a game, just lower resolution and game on, I'd say. Let's just go on by looking at some of the features and niggles of this device. Now let's just talk about some of the features and niggles of this device. Some stuff I do like, some stuff I don't like. We'll start with the Android side once again. I'm going to keep this short because I'm already running long, obviously. First of all, I've already talked about the bloatware that comes with the Android side of the device. It's something that I really didn't like. You have to root to get rid of some of the things properly, which is really too bad. But I know that's just the way with Chinese devices these days. There's some Chinese artifacts in the operating system as well. Some sentences which aren't translated properly, or some apps that have some Chinese lines in them, which it's not too bad, but it detracts from the overall view of this device. Like I've already said, there's no option to change resolution, which would have been really nice in a tablet like this with such a high resolution. Some other things, the camera isn't really good. I'll show some samples. I'll overlay them right over the screen right now. The camera isn't very good, but then again, I don't think that you should take pictures with your camera, with your tablet. At least your tablet should not be your main picture taking device. It's impractical, it's unnatural, it's just don't do it. The 5 megapixel camera in the back is ass. That's the only way I can really describe it. Doesn't take any good pictures at all. What you've probably seen right now, that the focus is often off. It doesn't have any autofocus at all. So you can press the screen to try and focus on stuff, but it mostly just focuses white balance. It doesn't really focus on stuff in the background or something. It has a single focus. Yeah, the front camera right over here is just enough so that the person on the other end of your Skype call can see that it's really you in front of the device and not someone impersonating you. So that's adequate. That's enough. Some other thing, at the Android side, the speakers aren't very loud, aren't very strong, which is I don't understand why that is. In the Windows side, the speakers seem to work properly, have nice loud sounds. While at the Android side, they're a bit disappointing. I don't know why that is. Probably some sort of a software problem. I'm sure it will be fixed in an update, or at least I would presume that it will be fixed in an update. Some of the things that are good on this side is that there is a phone option and a messaging option right over there. It's nice that they put that in. They could have just said, like most of the 3G tablets, like you can go on the internet with this tablet and that's pretty much it. I'm probably not going to use a phone because calling with a 9.7-inch tablet stuck to your face isn't that pleasant. But the messaging app does seem useful because you can then just sit at your desk and don't have to take your phone out. That means that you would have to switch your SIM card every once in a while. I don't know, maybe some people do that. Some people will use this as their main messaging device. I don't know, you have to make that out for yourself, but I think it's nice that it's here. that's pretty much it at the Android side of the device. Let's just look at some of the features and niggles on the Windows side of this device. Now let's just look at some of the stuff I like, some of the stuff I don't like. One thing that I was really positively surprised with is that this tablet comes with 1 year of free Microsoft Office 365, which has a retail value of $100. So half of the price of this tablet is already paid back by your Office subscription. You get all the Office apps. I'll just show them really quick. Over here, we've got Access, Excel, OneNote. OneNote is free, by the way. We've got PowerPoint Publisher. Word is here somewhere too. Yeah, Word is here somewhere too. I can't find it right here. Right here is Word. Yeah, you get a lot of stuff. You get 1 terabyte of OneDrive storage, and you get 60 free Skype calling minutes every month, which is pretty nice actually. I was positively surprised by that. There's some nice features like the picture unlock and the fact that you can get 3G internet on the Windows side. Right here, if we go to settings and we go to I don't know where it is exactly. Let's just look for a minute. It should be here somewhere. Settings, and then right here we can see this Chinese thing over here is the 3G compatibility. So you can put in a SIM card and you can go on the internet with your Windows device too. Let's get rid of that. The gestures work nicely as well on this operating system. So while they're pretty useless on desktops, stuff like the charms over here, where you can go to the start screen immediately, stuff like the multitasking by swiping under, and the task manager that then lets you kill stuff by swiping from the top down, which doesn't work every time because of this ladder over here, but it works. Those are pretty nice features, which are pretty useful if you want to, be a power user with this tablet. You can master these gestures and they work nicely. And of course, the dual boot is one of the nicest features of this tablet. It is something that isn't widely acknowledged yet. It's just in some, just present in some tablets, and most of the tablets don't even have it working correctly. Sometimes you can't start into one of the operating systems. This really is one of the first tablets that has done dual booting completely right. So yeah, I think I've said pretty much everything there is to say about this tablet. In the end, I think that's a good price for this tablet. I bought it for 200 euros. Well, a little less because it was a sale when I bought it, but it's on sale for 200 euros right now. For that, you get a dual boot tablet, which has 1 year of free Office, which is already worth 100 euros. It has some decent specs. It's a very light tablet for its size. If I have to be completely honest, I'm pretty sure that in a few months there will be tablets with comparable specifications and dual boot for the same price with better quality. I'm pretty sure that will happen. But this tablet is very good if you really want to be, one of the early adopters of dual boot tablets. If you already want to see now what they can do, what they're capable of, this tablet won't disappoint you. There's no real flaws with it. It's not that powerful that you can do gaming with it. But for me, I mainly bought it for educational reasons. I bought it to use in university as an easy-to-carry computer. And for that, it's pretty good. It's performant enough to do, word text editing, to make presentations, to keep in touch with people. It's very good for that. So yeah, if you really want to be on the forefront of, new technological evolutions, and you're thinking about, buying a dual boot tablet right now, you don't want to wait half a year or something, then go ahead and buy this. It's not a bad tablet at all. It doesn't have, I have used it for about a month right now. I haven't run into any instabilities. It's a nice tablet. If you have any questions about this tablet, as always, you can just ask them preferably in the comments on the Reddit thread. I will post the Reddit thread in the description down there. Because I don't have a Google Plus account, so if you ask something in the comments on the YouTube page, I probably won't be able to reply to that. Damn you, Google. That's pretty much it. Teclast X98 Air 3G. Buy it or don't. Teclast X98 out.